I've been working on these chainsaws. I've taken the carburetors off each and every one. There's 5 here. And cleaned them, put it back together, and still not working properly. Some of them I've cleaned twice. The only one that is running good is this one down here, and I've cut with it. But these here, I just went ahead and ordered carburetors for them. Today I received 2. These are identical carburetors, so now I got to remember or check out which ones get what. It seems like this one and that one had the same exact carburetors. No, because that has a different filter. It's this one. You see the shape of this filter, and that is the same. And these 2 have that same filter. So I'm pretty sure those are the 2. I'll have to inspect it a little bit further to make sure they are indeed the same ones, because each one of these are just slightly different. If you notice this this piece right here at the top, one of them is plastic, and it's this one, so it is not that one. So it's a matter of just matching everything up. It's not that one. Oh, I know which one it is. Let's see. It's going to be not that one. That one for snookered. Even that's a little different. Uh-oh. Well, regardless, I can change some of the arms out on them. Boy, they sure looked right in the picture. Maybe they didn't send me the right ones. Actually, you know what? It could be. I don't think it's that one. Well, I'll check it out. I had a hummingbird come in here a good half hour ago, and he's flying around here, and so I just turned my back and was working. I didn't have that door open, just the one over here, and the noise quit right there, and I haven't heard him since. I don't know where. Okay, anyway, I did confirm that the carburetors go to this one and this one, because I got my confirmation of delivery in the mail on my email. So it's for the 3314 and this here one. So I did change the carburetors out. It comes with a new filter, which I didn't need to replace. The other one was good. Come with a new primer bulb. The one that's in there is good. A couple gas lines, those are good. And those gaskets down there, the ones that were behind the carburetor, was good. This I was going to replace, but this is a good 1/4 inch longer than the one that's in there. And the one that's in there is a Husqvarna spark plug. They own Poulan and McCulloch. So I know that, pretty sure that's the right spark plug that's in there, and it doesn't look bad, so I don't need to replace it anyway. So I drained the fuel out of the tank, and it's looking pretty bad. It's not stinky, but it's dirty. I inspected the line and the filter, and those are fine. This thing, when it sits, leaks bar oil everywhere. So I replaced the O-ring on the cap out of my wonderful Harbor Freight kit. And I don't think it was leaking out of the cap because it was always leaking on this side, I'm pretty sure. So I've cleaned this all up really nice. Saw has not had very much use at all. You can tell by looking at that sprocket there. If I had good lighting, which I do right here. Now if the phone, well, there we go. Now compare that to this one, which has some definite wear. Where? Right there. So, would really not be very happy if something wasn't right here, but there hasn't even been a drip yet. So, maybe it was indeed the cap. But the funny thing is sitting level like this, it would have to drain underneath this somehow because it was all oily. You can see it right here. Well, that is over on that side. And it was sitting right there. So, could very well be that that O-ring on the cap was bad. And if it dripped down and then came over on this, I don't know. That was all wet.
Oil has a funny way about it.
I got this thing running really good with the cover off and the filter off. And then when I went to put the cover back on, we have a problem. If you see this line right here on this rubber seal, that's where this fits in there and seals around it. This wire on here was too long and it was going across that line, so you couldn't get the cover on right. So I clipped it off. That's as far back as that brass goes, so I could actually clip off more if need be. But take a gander at that wire. That's how that works. Now this one, the old one, has this mechanism on there, so it's a little bit different. As long as this is the same as this is the same, I might switch it over. Alright, well, it is different. On the picture where I ordered this from, they showed it identical to this, to this one, to the original. Everything was identical. And then when I get it, it's different. I clipped this off and there's still something hanging up and getting in the way. And if I were to switch everything over, I'd have to take this whole arm off and switch it with this one. This one is a little bit different. As long as the distance from here to here is the same as here to here, I think it would work. It might work otherwise. I don't know. But I'm not very happy about this. I mean, it runs really good. But I can't get the cover on right now. I could notch the cover out, but it's supposed to seal for a reason, you know, to keep all the junk out of this compartment here, which isn't foolproof because I can see stuff down there, and there was some of those other saws have really dirty compartments in there. You know, it's just mainly to keep your carburetor clean. So I'm going to fuss with this a little bit more and see if I can't get it to work with the cover on. We'll see what happens. I clipped it off right down to the little end there. As long as that wire isn't hitting anything while it's going up like that, it should be fine. All right, clipping that off to the end of the brass was just right. Now it's not hitting on here. I got is poor grammar. I have one more problem. And one thing that's not lining up, well, it's two things. These two screws right here, the adjustment screws, the high and the low speed. On the new one, those screws are longer, which that's not the problem. They're positioned a little bit farther back that way so that you can't get your adjustment screwdriver to just go in here nicely and lay hold of them. I'm going to have to, the plastic piece it's basically a guide for the screwdriver. I could eliminate that or alter it a little bit. I'll play around with it and we'll see what happens there. But I wanted to show this process. The guy at the small engines repair shop said that he's had good results with these carburetors from China, and in many cases they're exactly the same company. So it just depends on which one you get, I guess. But what in the world was that? Scared the tar out of me. I have no more tar left. Anyway, we'll see. This also has an overactive oil gland. And I know it's not leaking from the cap. When you're done using the saw, I ran it for a bit without this on there. And that oiler works good. And when you're done and you set the saw down, it's oozing oil out. So guy would be tempted to keep it propped up for a little while on its side-ish. Maybe after a while of sitting on its side, it won't. I don't know. I don't like oil all over the place, don't you know? I also replaced the O-ring on the cap. Actually, I swapped caps with that one down there because one of these saws, it's either that McCulloch over there or this one, and I think it's this one, there was pressure so that when I would take the fuel cap off, gas would kind of spray you. So I'm wondering if the cap isn't breathing properly, and I'm going to find out on that one when I use it. So now I'm going to start her up and see how she went. I'd say that's pretty good. I'd say that's good enough to sell now. Here's my proper upper items right there. You can get those at a camera shop. Well, not really. Okay, let's put it up here. Well, I have an oil soaker upper pad in there. This is all the stuff that comes with it. Brand new chain, unopened package, a file, unused, and you know that end right there should be for the spark plug, but not on this model. It's just for the nut for the right there. I guess that wraps up that model. Now I'll be doing this one, and I'm going to run into the same problem. I might mess around and see what a guy can't maybe replace these pieces there. I don't know. Right then, that's all for this one. Then.